Hello, everybody, and welcome here to the Sports Talk Network channel. Specifically, welcome here to the Monday Night Raw review here for January 15th, 2018. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. So, this is Monday Night Raw. This Raw kind of being, really, in the end, was a throwaway Raw. Nothing was bad. I mean, as you can follow me on Twitter at WWE_podcast, I do have my Raw Insta poll already up live and moving. Welcome to vote there and give your thoughts. And do you think it was great? Do you think it was good? Do you think it was okay? Or do you think that the show was terrible? I probably can simply say the show was good. It wasn't terrible, but it was good. Most shows are good. And how Raw was centered around Braun Strowman made it that interesting, or more interesting in its own right for this Raw. That without that, been truly so should have been okay show. And next week's Monday Night Raw, the 25th anniversary, and all that awesomeness. Now that show is gonna be jam packed, more so with moments with legends appearing and stuff, than actual continuing storylines. I'm sure they still have a Raw show to have, like it still is a show. And as much as it's a special episode being just like a grand party, which, to be quite honest, I wish on television they could be themselves, not actually have to be full-fledged into their characters so much. We still call them their characters, not by their real names. I'm saying like that kind of relaxed, but more different sense, because it is kind of like a party, a celebration of 25 years of Monday Night Raw being on the air. Otherwise, so in that regard, I would certainly actually will want the show next week to be all focused on that, the returns, and so many people that are going to be coming back, and so many awesome moves that you could have with current superstars and former superstars, and this and that, and all the awesomeness in the women's division and the men's division. So you know what? The one match that's been announced, which is for the WWE Intercontinental Championship, facing Roman Reigns. If I had to predict, I actually wouldn't be surprised at all if this one and got the title. But hopefully that is the only match. I'm actually kind of hoping for that in a way, and everything else being of the past. But it probably won't be. It'll probably just be less of what we want it to be, meaning it'll be kind of like the show has been and will be, and kind of was this week, only in a grander sense of storylines and matches and this and that and that kind of this and what that be. I guess in his own right, and that's sprinkled in with the legends during a women's segment, or during tag team segments, this and that and whatever. Maybe even something Hillary Cardinal himself in backstage moments or stuff like that. But I want it to be a full-fledged party in the ring, backstage. Otherwise, maybe a couple matches sprinkled in the show, but mainly focused on the returns of the legends. As we know, most of the legends being from our era. Our era being the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era being the best era in WWE and the best time to be a wrestling fan. Or the times for sure were back then with Austin, Triple H, The Rock, and others, Undertaker, and others at that time. Well, let's talk about Monday Night Raw, starting off with Raw General Manager Kurt Angle firing Braun Strowman. Like I said, most of the show being centered around Braun Strowman, and kicking off at the beginning with Kurt Angle having to fire him for what Braun Strowman did last week to the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar and fellow challenger Kane. Titus O'Brien defeating Cesaro and Sheamus in the tag team match 2 weeks in a row. That tag, the Titus O'Brien, Apollo Crews, and Tasmania getting the win. Makes sense to do it on MLK Day for that obvious reason. But beyond that, they won last week, didn't win this week. All that's Christmas going on. I think it's cool and good for them to have a little bit of momentum, whether it actually goes somewhere. I guess we'll have to see and find out as we get closer and closer to the Royal Rumble. Hopefully everybody is able to hear me and see my volume control here looks like it's doing pretty well. If there are any more issues, J. Thomas or others that are watching live, welcome to. Let me know in the chat. But anyways, moving along, talking about Monday Night Raw. Cedric Alexander defeating Tony Nese one-on-one with Enzo Amore outside. Then Raw general manager Kurt Angle rehires Braun Strowman after Braun attacked security people, hindering others, and lifting semi-truck. The red over on the side. And if you noticed, after it's tipped, if you look, it wasn't on block at all. Now with the ambulance, at least from what I saw, it had some with the blocks underneath that. Rewatching that, and why that was in plain view, I don't know. For that moment, Asuka defeating Nia Jax because via match stoppage. Nia Jax getting injured. There, WWE paying tribute to Nia Jax from Martin Luther King Jr. as it is MLK Day. So happy MLK Day to everyone. The Revival defeating local competitors, just back on track and see where they go and see how everything is situated and moving on the Raw Tag Team division. Maybe not as good or hard as SmackDown Live has been, but certainly intriguing in that sense. The Intercontinental Champion Roman Reigns defeats the Mr. Raj in the 1-on-2 handicap match. Too much really was saying there. On the main event, you had Seth Rollins defeat Finn Balor 1-on-1 there. And if only Dean Ambrose was here, not out for as long as he'll be, could actually have the Shield versus the Bar much sooner than what's going to be expected, or they might not even be able to have it at all, depending on how long Ambrose is out, and if they will be able to have that match. Also, Paige was on Raw tonight, actually even in her wrestling gear. Now, Sonya Deville was the one that had the match. I went on with. Hold on now. One match with Sasha Banks, actually getting the win over Sasha Banks in that one matchup, but I think they're slowly transitioning Paige into that role. It certainly seems that way. Because I do really think those rumors were correct. And stuff. Also, we did see the Scoop Stomp coming back with the finish of that match with Seth Rollins getting the win over Finn Balor. It'd be, what did that be? But that's pretty much what I just wanted to do a quick review of next week. I will be actually doing a live stream on Monday Night Raw. Next week is WWE week, pretty much for me, for the 22nd. Live reaction to Raw 25. Then my review of the Monday Night Raw episode. And later on in the week, Steve's Wrestling Ramble. Sunday, live reaction to the women's first ever Royal Rumble match. Men's Royal Rumble match. Those two live reactions. And then the review for the pay-per-view event. Also on Thursday, Steve's Wrestling Ramble, I think I already did say, my prediction episode. Hopefully have a great plethora of guests. Comedy's Corner, Act 3, with your Central and others. Be a part of that. But we'll certainly see when we get to that point. Well, I hope they have a great rest. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, your evening, and otherwise. Above all else, as always. Actually, hold on. You can follow me on Twitter at WWE_podcast. If you like the video, smash the like button here. Share it. Subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate it if you haven't subscribed. Check me out on Facebook. Just search Steve's Wrestling Ramble and like the page there. On Twitter, WWE_podcast, and it's at WWE_podcast for Road Night Raw. It's a poll, SmackDown Live is a poll to have those every single week. Also, I have a pinned tweet finally learned how to how to pin a tweet. Not pinning like in W123, but pinning a tweet like it's literally like you're pinning it on a board. And for those that are not born from my era, might not even know what the heck that is. But you know what I mean. By the way, I still have my board that I had when I was a kid, way back in the times, as in the 90s and then 2000s. My childhood. Anyways, I still have mine that I have senior pictures and other things pinned there. But the point is, I found just a pin a tweet on Twitter at WWE Podcast and vote. What song would you like to hear? What song would you most like to hear for my Raw or for my WWE Royal Rumble 2018 edition pay-per-view prediction episode that's coming this Thursday night with my team and others? The songs that are on that list: "Hypnotized" by Gemini, "Everybody" Backstreet Boys, "Crazy" Britney Spears, and "Rockstar" by Nickelback. So welcome to vote there. That should be right on the top of my page, my account there on Twitter at WWE Podcast. You can vote there. The votes seem like they're pretty dang close. So every vote counts. It's like presidential elections. I shall always be heard of, forever hold peace. So, again, do the rest of your evening, and above all else, as always, take care.